Setting it up. Dun, 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 dun.
That's live.
Oh, great.
Woohoo. I see us. Okay, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share. Sharing with my page, sharing with my peeps.
All right, and I guess I will start the recording. Let's see.
Okay.
All right, good morning, Fab Squad. It is time for Live with the Fab Squad. I am here with my super friend, Dr. Samm Pryce, and we're going to get into our introductions. I'm going to let you all know what we're going to be discussing today. And this topic is one that I think is very timely and very relevant that we all can use in our life right now. And we're going to be talking about setting the tone for health in your home. And that's why Dr. Samm is here with us. I'm Dr. Jamie Hardy, your lifestyle pharmacist, and I'm your board certified pharmacist, speaker, best-selling author, event producer, here to help you to be fit, fabulous, and fulfilled without those prescribed pills. So how do I do that for you? Through my online lifestyle academy, through activities like this, through my best-selling books, and of course, through my fun and fabulous events called the Fab Gathering. You all get those tips to activate the power of your food, your actions, and your beliefs, Fab, so that you can live the life that you deserve and your family deserves. So that's who I am for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time. But enough about me. We have a special guest with us in the Fab Squad today, and I'm so excited that Dr. Samm is here with us. So Dr. Samm, tell the Fab Squad who you are.
Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Jamie, for having me. Y'all are so lucky to have Dr. Jamie. I'm so excited to be sharing with your Fab Squad. So I'm Dr. Samm Pryce. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. That means I'm an expert in natural. Through my #1 best-selling books, my concierge medical practice, my live event Vital, the experience, I help people bridge conventional and alternative medicine to transform their illness into wellness. And that's me. I'm also a wife and a mom. And so that gives me some extra titles here with coronavirus, right? So I'm the principal, the janitor, the teacher, the dean, all that other stuff too. So I got some extra titles going on now.
Awesome. So Dr. Samm, as a licensed naturopathic physician, you have a very interesting background and expertise because you can bridge, what we know as traditional Western medicine with more natural ways to practice and to treat medical conditions. So that's why I'm so super excited about you being here. Part of having a fabulous and a fulfilling lifestyle is taking ownership. And I like to empower the Fab Squad and give them strategies that they can use to take action and kind of come alongside their healthcare team and be partners in their care. And so that starts at home. So because we are home now more than ever, I really wanted us to talk about how people can set the tone in their home and be the queen bee, right? For, manning the fort and making sure that it is a place of health or an environment that fosters health. So that's why I'm so super excited about you being here. So we're going to just have some conversation and we look forward to everything that you're going to drop right into our lives. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that you shared extensively about at the Fab Gathering Summit here in Memphis in 2019, and people went crazy over some of the tips that you shared about sleep. We are so sleep deprived, and I think now that we're home more, people are realizing how chronically tired we had been. So especially amongst women, right? So even when women feel tired, some of them say, okay, I get in the bed and I can't go to sleep, or if I go to sleep, I can't stay asleep. So what are some things that women especially can do to kind of develop a sleep system or a better hygiene routine when it comes to sleep at home?
So you touched on it right there. You said it. You need a routine. You need a plan. So just like we plan our days, we might plan meals. I know you talk about planning meals to the Fab Squad. So they're used to planning, right? So you need to have a plan. And maybe for the first 2 weeks, you need to write that plan out and you need to check it off as you do it. So a plan would be something like, all right, at 6 o'clock, I'm going to have dinner. I'm going to have chamomile tea. I'm going to take a bubble bath. I'm going to journal, which, you know, Dr. Jamie has a journal. And then I'm going to sleep. I'm going to be in the bed by a certain time, which helps to kind of schedule you. You know that your alarm clock goes off at a certain time. You have to be at work at a certain time. You should also schedule when I'm going to actually be in the bed. And that will allow your brain to kind of settle down and prepare you for sleep. So I do have an entire system that I shared with the Fab Squad. It's called the NAP system. So is it okay if I go into the NAP system?
Yeah, so nap, like taking a nap, N-A-P, nap?
It's N-A-P-P. We added a P.
N-A-P-P. All right, awesome.
So the N stands for, and if you're on here, can you just type in the chat for us? So N stands for say no. So there's a couple of things that you should say no to. You're going to say no to caffeine after, let's say, like 6 o'clock. Some people need to say no after 4 o'clock. And for women specifically, I want you guys to understand that caffeine's in chocolate. It's in chocolate, okay? So no chocolate, no caffeine after 4 or 6 p.m., depending upon how sensitive you are, all right? Say no to bringing work home. It makes us think about stuff. It makes us stay up at night and makes our mind go and go and go. So try not to bring the work home with you. Sometimes, especially now because we're at home, that's difficult, but you can set a time where you're not at work. Like, I'm not going to do work after this time, right? Say no to blue light. So blue light is the same light that we get from the sun, but blue light is also on your screens. So your tablets, your phone, your laptop, your TV, and that blue light actually makes us more alert, and it decreases our ability to actually make melatonin, which is our natural hormone for immune, and melatonin actually kind of relaxes you. So we want to say no to the blue light. You need to shut that off probably after 6 o'clock or so, because we want to be in bed at a certain time as well. So we're going to say no to certain things. And then the A is for the appropriate sleep and the amount of sleep. So appropriate meaning I want you to sleep between the hours in Chinese medicine, we do between 10 and 2. So 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. you should be asleep. So we talked about melatonin that helps to relax you. You can actually build that on your own. It's natural. It works between 10 and 2, and that's when your body heals itself. So those are the hours, at least the 4, that you need to be asleep. And then everybody always asks me, well, how many hours should I be asleep? So honestly, adults need to be asleep between 7 to 9 hours at night. And is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 9? Well, in order for you to decide or to find out what your body really wants, you should have at least 3 days or 3 nights where you're not waking up with an alarm clock. You don't have to go to bed at a certain time. And when you go to bed, you're just going to put what hour you went to bed and what time you woke up rested. The average of those 3 nights is how much time your body needs to sleep. I need 9. I need 9 hours. And Dr. Jamie, my 9 is on a good night. It's a good just every day. But if I'm sick, if I'm stressed, I'm going to need a little bit more than 9 hours. So you have to be prepared.
Gotcha.
Yourself more time to rest when you're sick or when you're stressed.
I love that. And yes, we are more stressed, I believe, now with all of the news and all the things that are flooding our inboxes, you know, constantly on a loop on television. It's a stressful time just thinking about what's happening in the world, keeping your family well. If you're working on the front line, if you're an essential worker in any industry, it is creating anxiety and stress. So We need sleep more now than ever. I love that, Dr. Samm. Thank you so much.
The two
Something
P's,
else.
I'm gonna tell you about the two P's. So the first P is the plan, and we kind of went through that. So the reason why I think that we as adults need a plan is if you've ever put your child to sleep or a brother or a sister to sleep or any kind of child to sleep, we usually have a routine. And what happens is you do this at this hour, this at this hour. It's consistent, right? And you're doing the same thing over and over again. And what happens is, let's say you go on vacation and you can't be consistent or you can't have the same things that you would do at home. That child's going to fall asleep around the same time each night because they've built up what I call sleep memory. Their body knows that it's 8 o'clock. I need to wind down. Okay, when I take a bath, it's time to wind down. So what I would like to see is adults actually develop a routine: dinner, a cup of tea, a bubble bath, journaling, and then getting into bed, reading, something like that, whatever it is that your routine is. And we just talked. And then the last P is positivity. So you know how you talked about we're in the bed and we're our mind's just racing, right? It's racing, racing, racing. We wake up, right, thinking about stuff. So one of the things is if you are ending on a positive note, so I like something called a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar. And Dr. Jamie happens to have a gratitude journal.
I do.
Yes. So the last thing that you want to do at night is I do prayers. So I do prayers at night. I do prayers in the morning. But the last thing I do is prayers, and I write what I'm grateful for that day, right? So you're ending on a positive note, if that makes sense. Part of the other P in the plan is also writing your to-do list for the next day so that you're not in the bed thinking about all the things that you need to do. So you've already gotten that out of your system and you're ending on a Zen positive note is what I would prefer for people to do. And that's the
I love that. Yeah. And you made it so simple. You know, so many times we hear recommendations and they feel like overwhelming or so big that it's no way that, you know, I myself, you know, could start to chip away and do some of these. And I liked how simple you made it for us. Absolutely. And, you know, journaling is something that I do in my life. It's not just something that I tell the Fab Squad. You know, I try to live what I teach. And so for me, just like you said, I put down what I'm grateful for each day before I go to bed. And it allows me to do it like a brain dump. So even the anxiety and the stress, I get that off my mind and even off my chest and just put it on the pages of the journal. And then I can go to sleep.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Something else, Dr. Samm, that you dropped on us at the Fab Gathering Summit that was so incredibly awesome was Feng Shui. So many people have heard this term and maybe even, you know, read it out on the internet. But what does that mean in terms of our homes, and why does that matter? Can simple people like us incorporate Feng Shui, or do we have to bring in an expert, you know, hire somebody to come in? Like, what is that about and how can we do it?
So in Chinese medicine, it's Feng and Shui, which means wind and water. And I'm sure that you guys have seen the symbol yin and yang, a yin yang, right? So it means yin and yang. So yin, we think of nighttime and cool, and yang, we think of daytime and hot. So it's balancing things. So it's really about the art of arranging things to achieve harmony and balance. That's in your life, your surroundings. It's really aligning the energy with your surroundings, right? And so in Feng Shui, there's 5 different elements. So we have wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to balance those elements within your home, because we're talking about the home right now. So you just want to balance that. So wood in Chinese medicine refers to creativity and growth. Fire is leadership and boldness. We all need some boldness in our life.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Earth is strength and stability, grounding. I love that. Metal, signifies focus and order. And water is emotion and inspiration. So I'm going to go over those 5 again. Wood is creativity and growth. Fire is leadership and boldness. Earth is strength and stability. Metal is focus and order. And water is emotion and inspiration. So I'm kind of going to go through a little bit so I can kind of tell you how you would incorporate that in your house, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I would love that, please.
There's a couple of different things in Feng Shui overall. An overall arching theme is that your entryway to your house kind of needs to be balanced, right? So as you walk through your door, there should be a mirror so that if somebody entering your house has a bad juju, spirit, whatever you want to call it, or bad energy, it reflects it out the door, okay? So that's one little tip for the entryway, okay? Overstuffed closets, ladies. Overstuffed closets kind of means like overstuffing your head, you know what I mean? So there's a big overall theme in Feng Shui for decluttering because it clutters your mind and your life and everything. So overstuffed closets are no-no. Broken objects. If you've got anything broken and you haven't fixed it, that broken shoe, that broken pot, whatever, throw it away. If you're not going to fix it, it needs to be thrown away, right? Color is really important in a house. So you want soothing colors that mean something to you. There's all kinds of YouTube videos on color palettes and blue for soothing and green for this and red for this. So the colors in your house mean something to you. And then the bedroom. So I really talk about the bedroom because sleep is my jam, right? So let's talk about Feng Shuiing the bedroom. So number 1 is no clutter underneath the bed. Oftentimes we'll put like those things that we can store extra clothes underneath the bed. Not supposed to have that underneath the bed. Not supposed to have books underneath the bed. Nothing under the bed because you're sleeping on the bed and you don't want the energy of whatever's underneath you to rise while you're sleeping, okay? Your sheets, spend some money on good quality sheets, okay? Good quality sheets, and they need to be a light color and airy. So I say white, light gray, this color right here, whatever, seafoam green, something light and airy, right? The position of your bed, so your bed, your stove, and your desk are all supposed to be in what we call the command center. So when you walk into a room, you should see your bed. But in Feng Shui, your feet, because a casket is carried out foot first, you don't want your feet to be facing the door. So it needs to be off-centered, or you could have a sleigh bed. Okay, so you kind of have to catty corner it just a little bit, but it still needs to be in the command center. So there's something called a bagua, which is a Feng Shui map, and you can Google this. They have them for each room. So you'll have a bedroom, an office, a living room. It's called a bagua. And it says where the different elements, those 5 elements that I'm talking about, where they need to be placed in the room. But the desk, the bed, and the stove are always in the command center. So the other thing with Feng Shui is no mirrors in the bedroom. Same reason, because you've got the bad vibes or energy. Even if it's your spouse or somebody else coming in your bedroom is supposed to be dark, quiet, and tidy. Dark, quiet, and tidy. All right, those are the 3 things for the bedroom. At the head of your bed, right, normally we have an alarm clock or we plug our phone in. Those emit EMFs, electronic magnetic frequencies, and oftentimes they will keep you from sleeping well. So you don't want that either, okay? And then for those of you guys who are single or dating, it's really important that you set up your bedroom as though you're living with someone else, as though you are expecting someone else to live with you. Your bathroom should have 2 towels, not 1. You should have 2 lamps on either side of your bed, right? Expect for someone to come into your life. Be prepared for it. Invite it in, Okay. So it should be some symmetry to that. Okay.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my gosh. And the fact that for the single members of the Fab Squad,
Yeah.
because there's so many, accomplished, beautiful, intelligent single women. And I like that you said, like you're setting the environment to welcome another person in, setting the stage for that additional person to be there.
It is so important. Even your kitchen, your dishes, you need to have dishes for your potential spouse. If they come into your house, you want to be able to serve them. You want them to have a towel. You should be expecting that person to come into your life.
Oh, wow. All right, single ladies, y'all hear that, right? So get some more, have another place setting so that your guests can sit and eat and have dinner, and they can have a towel to dry their hands or whatever in the restroom. Put another nightstand on the side of your bed where you just have one nightstand and one lamp, balance that out. Oh, I love that, Dr. Samm. Oh my gosh. I know that just blessed so many people. So something else that I talk a lot about is water and hydrating with water, right? And there's so many benefits, but to keep it short and sweet, water is the best 0-calorie, sugar-free beverage on the planet. So here's the thing though, there are all these different variations in water. There's filtered water, there is so many different methods of treating the water, and even bottled or filtered tap or regular tap or alkaline water.
Yes.
Does it matter? Is water just water? Does it matter?
It is not created equal.
Okay.
Not created equal. I love water. Love water. And I know you do too. So there is spring water, which I'm sure all of y'all are familiar with at the grocery store, right? So spring water comes from an aquifer from down underneath the ground. And what normally would happen is it would come up and it would run over rocks, and that would give us the minerals that are in the spring water. So when we're buying spring water, right, in the grocery store, it's considered purified, but you cannot guarantee that it's purified without microbial contamination. That's not what it's purified for, okay? So that's number one. Number two is distilled water. So a lot of times my patients will come in and they'll say, oh no, I've been drinking distilled water. It's the best water, right? So what is distilled water? Distilled water is water that has nothing in it at all. So they've gone through a process to strip all of the minerals, all of the contaminants. It definitely has no microbes in it, okay? And I think that that's where the whole I'm going to drink distilled water came from, because it definitely doesn't have the microbial contamination. But it doesn't have the minerals in it either, right? So I suggest distilled water for cooking and for your small appliances, your iron, your tea kettle, your Keurig, because you know how you get that like white foam, white stuff in the Keurig and in your tea kettle? That's from the mineral buildup from your tap water, your spring water, whatever you're pouring in it. So if you use distilled water, it has none of that in it. So it's supposed to be used for small appliances, right?
Wow. Okay.
If I'm making a medicine on the stove, like an oxymel with some herbs and stuff like that, I put the distilled water in there because it's going to take on all the properties of what I have in the water, instead of having other things in there. So distilled water is fine for cooking with and small appliances. I wouldn't necessarily drink it. You're going to have to add stuff if you're doing distilled water, okay? Alkalinize the water. So alkalinize the water goes through a process of, it probably starts off as spring water, and then they go through either reverse osmosis or some type of electrical chemical process where they split the acids, the acidic part of it, and the alkalines are the basic part of it, and they split it out. They take the acid out, and then they add in alkalinizing minerals like magnesium, sodium, potassium, those alkalinizing minerals in there. It actually has to go through a rigorous process. If it says alkalinized on there, it's gone through a rigorous process. The reason why I like alkalinized water is because viruses, bacteria, things like that cannot survive in an alkalinized environment. So I want my patients to have alkalinized water. And oftentimes, at least in my practice, I'm seeing a lot of people with acid reflux and the inability to digest their food, right? Because they just don't have the acid in their stomach. And so I need for them to drink the alkalinized water in order to alkalinize their bodies. So when you're eating your vegetables, that's alkalinizing your body. So why not drink alkalinized water as well?
Wow. All right. Thank you so much for educating us on the difference. All water is not created equal. Distilled water for cooking and use in our small appliances, but preferably drinking alkalinized water.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Awesome sauce. So you kind of led right into our next question when you mentioned if you were putting something on the stove and making something that kind of has like some healing type of properties or attributes. And of course, everyone is doing everything that they can to stay well in this time. So what are some things that you keep in your kitchen that you would recommend that we keep in our kitchen that has those healing properties that we should be stocking up on and just having ready to go, in our kitchens?
Yeah. So garlic is an absolute must. Nobody should not have garlic in their house. You should have garlic in your house at all times. So garlic is antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's just got wonderful properties, and you can saute with it. You can put it in concoctions. You could just do a lot of stuff with garlic, and garlic is an essential in my house. I like onions because onions are an antioxidant, believe it or not. And so they've got their own healing property. Peppermint is something that I like, and I don't think people think a lot about fresh peppermint, but peppermint is awesome. So peppermint has the ability to help with digestion. It has the ability to help with headaches. It has, It's just one of those multiple property herbs that has an array of different things that it does. Ginger is something that everybody should have in their house. It's great for digestion. It's anti-inflammatory. So think about pain. Turmeric. So turmeric is, I guess, in the last 5 or 6 years has gotten big on the radar, but having turmeric as a spice, or either having fresh turmeric, you can put it in your smoothies. You can make what's called a golden latte. That's really great at night. It also helps you sleep. So you can add like some type of alternative milk, like almond milk, and then the turmeric and a little bit of black pepper. So this is important. When you're using turmeric, you need to add a little black pepper. It actually opens up the turmeric and the medicinal properties. So just a dash of black pepper, and then add some ginger and maybe some honey in there, and you mix it around, and you take that at night. So remember I said, you're planning your night and you're having your chamomile tea or this, that, and the other. You can have a golden latte at night sometimes if you want to switch it up. And then I like honey. Honey to me has some medicinal properties. I like it when you can find some local honey. That's fantastic. But honey, you can add that to multiple things to make medicinal combinations. So sore throat and oxymel when you're feeling like you're coming down with the flu or something like that. So I use honey in a lot of recipes that I give for my patients. So honey, garlic, ginger, onions, turmeric, peppermint. I think those are really the essentials for me.
Oh, wow. I love that. Onions, garlic, fresh peppermint, ginger, turmeric, and honey. Got it. Got it. So Fab Squad, the next time you order your groceries, or if you're doing, produce boxes, or you're going out to the store, make sure that you include those items on your list to keep in your kitchen as staples. I love that. All right, Dr. Samm, another one that comes to mind quite often when we're trying to create a vibe or a relaxing, calming, healing environment is essential oils. They come up a lot in discussion and even in different articles. And so for the woman that has not started using essential oils, but is open to that, she's trying new things, she's taking ownership of her wellness and her family's wellness and creating this haven in their home. What should she be looking for, and how are essential oils beneficial? Do they really work? Is this just another wellness gimmick? Give us the scoop on essential oils.
Yeah, so essential oils actually come from herbs or plants. They're in my wheelhouse, right? So they're either the bark, the sap, the root, the something or other, right? So they go through a process, and then they are able to be used as inhalation. Some people say ingestion and they will like actually put it on their mouth or something like that. I am going to caution you guys not to do essential oils in a capsule or under your tongue or anything unless you're actually talking to a physician that's well versed in essential oils, because there are some that are toxic. So I'm just going to put that caveat out there. I do not recommend that if you're not following somebody who knows about essential oils. There's a process called neat versus not neat. Neat means that you can put the oil right on the skin. Some oils have some properties that might cause irritation to your skin. So a lot of times we say that you should take the oil and mix it with like fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, lotion, something, mix it with something, and then you can apply it topically, right? So essential oils are really, they're not safe, okay? There's just certain ones that you have to be a little bit particular about. I think that they work really well because what happens is when you're inhaling the smell of an essential oil, it's going through this olfactory system, like your eyes, your ears, your nose. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. It makes your brain think about certain things, and then that message goes to the rest of the body, right? So one of the main ones that everybody knows about is lavender, right?
Yes.
Lavender is so relaxing and soothing. It actually sends a message to the brain to calm you down and relax you. So my only contraindication or message to the Fab Squad is if you have a family history of estrogen positive cancers, or you have a history of estrogen positive cancers, lavender happens to have an estrogenic property, and I would not use lavender in your case, okay? So for those women who, you know, lavender is a girly smell if you ask me, so.
Yeah.
So there is an alternative to lavender. It is cedarwood, all right? And I don't think people talk about cedarwood very often, but it's a pretty cool smell. It's a little bit more masculine, but cedarwood has the properties of decreasing stress, decreasing anxiety, decreasing blood pressure. So, and it's relaxing. So I like cedarwood for that. Lang Lang has the same properties, Y-L-A-N-G. That's another one that's really cool. Peppermint is an essential oil that I like a lot. So back to lavender. Lavender also works on cuts and bruises and things like that. So it's great for healing. Peppermint is amazing for itching. So bugs. So when I was in Belize, we kept getting bitten by all and whatnot. And I was constantly putting my peppermint oil on. Okay. So peppermint's great for that. Peppermint's great for headaches. Peppermint's great for if you're nauseous, so digestion. So remember I said you should have peppermint in your house at all times. Same thing with the oil. Also, peppermint's really like got this thing where it wakes you up. It makes you more alert, right? Yes. So in our shower, we have two different body washes. One body wash has lavender and one body wash has peppermint. So we use the lavender at night to calm us down if we're taking a shower at night. And if we're taking a shower in the morning, we use the peppermint one. It wakes you
wake up.
Exactly. So essential oils can be used in your lotions. I love to put it in a diffuser in the house. So a diffuser has like some water in it, or you can use like a tea light and just put the oil on the top and it burns. And it just makes the house smell great. And you can use it for different properties. So like grapefruit essential oil, for example, like if you've been traveling, is great for jet lag. Like essential oils have great properties, and there's all kinds of information now on the internet about essential oils. I will caution this though. If you are finding an essential oil that's $5.99, it's probably not a good essential oil. Essential oils are not expensive, but they're definitely not your $2.99, $5.99 oil. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Because the higher quality oils probably go through a different, process. And so that warrants a little bit higher of a price point. So that makes sense.
They need to get the contaminants out. So, and that's really important. And that's another reason why I caution about having the oils. So you can take oils and put them in your own veggie caps. And then as a pill, and some companies sell essential oil pills. You need to make sure they're from a reputable source if you're going to ingest that. I don't even want you putting it on your body if it's not from a reputable source, right?
Right. Absolutely. Oh, awesome information. Oh, goodness. Oh, so we're in the house more now. So our exposure to environmental pollutants, I would like to think, has decreased, but we live in a very toxic world just from all the chemicals and just all the pollution from manufacturing and emissions from, automobiles. So what about the pollution in our homes, like in keeping the air in our homes clean? Like I've read a few things and I've tried to increase my utilization of plants. So like y'all probably can see this plant behind me. Like I have a plant in every room in my home now. Of course, it makes me feel, happier, and it relaxes me, and it kind of, zhuzhes up the vibe, right? Because your house is a whole vibe. But there are also some benefits for like, controlling the contaminants in the air in your home. So
Correct.
what are some other things besides plants that we should be thinking about to kind of freshen the air in our homes?
Absolutely. So I love the fact that you have a plant in every single, so that's the earth element of Feng Shui. So you've already got one element down. So that's awesome. So let's talk about plants. So there are some plants that help to oxygenate the environment. So one specifically is snake. And the way that I remember this is the snake plant comes in the night. So it specifically helps with insomnia. So I would love to see everybody have what's called a snake plant in their bedroom. And it brings up the oxygen level specifically at night. And it helps you to sleep better. So that's the snake plant. Then there's the spider plant. And the spider plant actually helps to get rid of formaldehyde. And I know y'all are thinking that's like embalming stuff or whatever, what she's talking about. But in construction homes and in carpet off-gases formaldehyde for 15 years. So if you've got carpet in your house and it's less than 15 years old, it's a noxious fume that you're not smelling, but can cause cognitive issues, fatigue, that kind of stuff. So just be wary of that. But a spider plant helps to get rid of the formaldehyde. It like takes it on in its little plant state. Okay. So that's fantastic. Jasmine is a fantastic plant that has very fragrant, and you can have it in your house. Valerian is fantastic. I like that one for your bedroom as well, because valerian is one of the things that helps with insomnia too. So that's a great one for the bedroom. One of the things that's really important to keep the house fresh and decontaminated is to not wear shoes in the house. So before you enter your house, or before anyone enters your house, you should take your shoes off, because you've been walking around, God knows where, your office, outside, wherever, and there's stuff on the bottom of the shoes. So you don't want to track that through the house unless you're going to go and mop and vacuum every single time you walk through the house, which I doubt. So just take the shoes off and don't wear shoes in the house, right? That's a big one, I think, that helps. If you have carpet in your house and you can afford not to have the carpet, then carpet's probably not a great idea. So I'm not a big fan of carpet at all, just because of the backing on it, just because of all of the dust mites and things that are harbored in the carpet. And let's just be honest, we're not going to vacuum every day.
No.
It's not happening. And
No.
not here. So let's just be honest with ourselves. So that's one of the things that we can do. The other thing is sage. I love sage. Sage is a bundle of herbs that you buy, and you can smoke it, and you just kind of wave it in the air. And like, I know that when this first started, I was doing it every week, sometimes more than once a week, depending upon how I felt. And instead of necessarily doing Lysol or Clorox on my door handles and stuff like that, I would just, it's called smudging. And I would just go around and put that, because sage actually has, as an herb, when you're burning it, it specifically has the properties of airborne microbial and viral stuff that it gets rid of. So I like sage, and you have to actually hold it in your hand and you have to move it around. It's sage somewhere and let it burn. You have to move it around, right? And then the other thing is having maybe an air purifier. So an Austin air purifier is the best one you can possibly buy, I think, last time I checked. Kind of expensive, but if you want to go down that rabbit hole, then an Austin air purifier. Also, I don't think that we think about changing our air filters very often, but changing the air filters and also cleaning the air ducts. So it's about the filters, right? Because the air ducts get dirty too. So cleaning the air ducts and changing the filters will help create that environment in your house that's clean and microbial free.
Wow, I love that. And you touched on several things. So I don't have people in my home often, but when I do have people over, I have been one of those, people that's like, take your shoes off at the door. And so I think some of my friends and family members at first were like, what? She got Hollywood. She moved into a new house and she trying to be all extra fancy. Well, you heard Dr. Samm say it. The shoes need to come off, even when we come into our homes ourselves every day, not just visitors. But I'm working on that with my husband. I'm pretty good about it. I have to give him some reminders to like leave those shoes in the garage and come on in the house, with them off. So that's still a work in progress. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Going over to my friend's house or stuff like that, especially the ones who I know, they practice what I practice, which is you don't wear the shoes in the house. I bring my bedroom shoes.
Yeah.
And they're in my purse. I leave my shoes right there at the door, and then I slip on my bedroom shoes.
That's so smart. And they have all kinds of cutesy little ones that can just roll up and you can tuck them right in your bag, ladies. My aunt, those are super cute. And they have some bling on them. I love bling. My aunt and my mom actually have a pair of house shoes or slippers that they have left over here because they are my ambassadors. They help to champion the no outside shoes rule.
Good.
So yeah. Oh, this has been so much fun. What else do I want to know while I have you? Oh, so I saw a couple of videos that you did about like grocery shopping, and so people are going out and they're bringing cleaning products, essentials, even groceries into the house. So just give us some tips on how people can prevent from bringing, germs back into the home just through things that we purchase. I know we're going to take our shoes off and leave our shoes off, but once you get in the house and you've changed into your slippers, what else can we do to prevent from bringing those germs back in from outside with us?
I'm so glad that you asked this question. So number one is stay at home if you can stay at home. That's the big one. Stay at home if you can stay at home. All right. Number two is, and what I mean by stay at home is I know that we have to get groceries and I know, we have to do that stuff, but they also have where you can go and you can pick up your groceries. They have where you can have your groceries delivered. That means you're not having to be in the grocery store. So if at all possible, I know it's getting really difficult and like it's scheduled out 2 weeks now and this, that, and the other, but if possible, stay at home and not be in a crowded situation. So that's number one. So number two is wear a mask. If you have to go outside, you need to wear a mask. If you're in any kind of environment, not in your car because you're in your car, but if you're in a situation where there are other people around, you should wear a mask. Wash your hands constantly, because I didn't realize how much I touched my face.
Yes, me too. And moving my hair, out of my face, and I'm
I'm a physician. I'm appalled at myself.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. I'm not a big fan of hand sanitizer, but for right now, you need to keep hand sanitizer in your pocket, in your purse, in your car. I went to the post office the other day because I had to, and I just remember I had one in my pocket. I pulled out my credit card. I did the hand sanitizer on the credit card after swiping it. I did hand sanitizer after touching the door to get out. No, I didn't. I did like this. But then I got in my car, did more hand sanitizer. So just being really cognizant when you can't wash your hands, then you need to do the hand sanitizer. And then I think the other thing is just detoxing, or what I call detoxing. So we're home and there's mental detox and then there's physical detox, right?
Yeah.
So the physical part of it is you've come in from grocery shopping and there's a whole process to that where you need to like wipe down everything. You need to wash everything that you just purchased and be really diligent about the stuff that you're doing. So even if you take the disinfectant and you spray the bottles of juice and you spray the bottles of water, whatever, there needs to be some process to bring in those groceries inside your house that's a clean environment, right? Because it's coming from shelves where we don't know who's touched it, right? So there's a process to that. But then when you come inside, it needs to be you're detoxing yourself. Think of yourself as contaminated. Like Dr. Jamie and I both, you are positive until proven otherwise. So
yeah.
if your comfort of your house, you're positive until proven otherwise. And so you need to physically detox yourself at this point. So you're going to come in and you're going to strip. Well, first of all, yeah, strip. Put everything in the wash. Don't put it in your laundry basket and let it sit there because it lives on clothes. Put it in the washing machine. You're going to go to your bath, wash your hands as soon as you can, okay? Because now you've touched your clothes, so wash your hands, right? Go take a shower. If you didn't cover your hair, then you need to wash your hair. So I tell my patients, just put something on your hair, put a bonnet on, put a hat on, cover your hair, right? Then you're protecting your hair, just like you're protecting this. If you're wearing gloves, that's a whole nother story. Take a shower, brush your teeth. Because if you touched your mouth and now it's in your mouth, let's brush your teeth, right? And there is something, I'm not a fan of Listerine, but there is something about Listerine and the way in which it was made to be a disinfectant. So you could swish with some Listerine or you can swish with some salt water and actually decontaminate your mouth at that point. I like hydrogen peroxide on a Q-tip, do inside your nose because it lives inside there. Hydrogen peroxide on a Q-tip and do your ears. Okay, so now you've detoxed your body. And if you've got long nails, you need to scrub underneath your nails. Okay, so now you've detoxed your body, right? And then detoxing as far as mental stuff is sometimes we need to take a back seat and just be calm, quiet, and maybe not turn on the TV and the news that day. So a mental detox, have a quiet time, read something inspirational or uplifting. That comes into that planning of the nap system and that positivity. So that's the mental detox. So you're coming in from that outer environment that's toxic. When you're coming into your sanctuary, you want to do the physical and the mental detox when you're coming in.
Oh, I love that. And you said something that I hadn't thought about. So yeah, like I work in a hospital, so we are covering our hair. So I'm going to work in a few hours. And so I'm going to actually like pull my hair up and I'm going to wear like a surgical cap and we have to wear masks. And even those same principles, people can utilize those even if you're not a healthcare worker. Cover your head, ladies, you know, and it'll help preserve your hair a little longer too, because then you don't have to get in the shower and try to wash it yourself.
Oh, and the other thing is I wouldn't wear jewelry when you're out. So it lives on metal. So like when I go out, I don't wear my wedding ring. I don't wear earrings. I don't wear my watch. I don't wear any kind of jewelry at all because it lives on that metal surface. So nothing.
Oh, super smart. I love that. Oh my gosh, Dr. Samm. So I feel like we are all, you know, in a better position to create this safe haven that our homes should be for ourselves and our families with these tips, Fab Squad, that you all can put into practice starting today. And here's what I want you all to do. I don't want you all to be stingy. Yes, you carved out time. You hopped on with us live. I want you to hit the share button because we want to share this information with as many people as we can. Because when we have experts to come on and share with the Fab Squad, we even have an extended community out there of friends, family, colleagues, church members, neighbors. So hit that share button so that this information can get out further. Dr. Samm, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with us and coming back to share with the Fab Squad. I know they are excited to see if we're going to get together in person again for the summit. We're of course going to be, you know, following all guidelines and our recommendations. Right now, we are tentatively still scheduled for live in Memphis, October. But I will, of course, keep everybody updated to let them know, the speakers as well as attendees, what is going to exactly happen, if it's going to be live or if it's going to be virtual. But we are, yes, we pray that we can all be together in a space together live. Thank you so much. Any final words before? Oh, thank
you. I so enjoyed this. You're so lovely. And you guys are so lucky to have Dr. Jamie and all this awesome information and the sharing of the wealth of all her super friends. Y'all are so lucky. And thank you, Dr. Jamie, for having me. I so appreciate it. Words of wisdom. You guys stay at home if you can. Be safe. Enjoy the people that are around you. Call somebody, video chat with somebody, talk to somebody if this is driving you up a wall. You know what I mean? So that's that mental detox. And just be safe. Be safe out there, y'all.
All right, Fab Squad, you heard it. Stay home if you can and be safe. I love y'all, and I will see you next time.
Bye.